live and ready for you. When I tell you this is exciting, my name is Gloria Mayfiled Banks. If this is your first time with me, welcome into my circle. Welcome to my girlfriend circle. I'm so excited today. I promised you something that was game changing. Game. I love that word game. Game changing. Let me say this to you. As we go through this event here, and I'm calling it an event because, sometimes things can happen. One thing can happen that can change your entire direction. Or one slight, juicy piece of information can change everything you do for your future and bring what you've wanted much closer to its reality. I'm very clear that my position here on earth, my purpose, is to take the ambitious person from ordinary to extraordinary, to bring together the things that you know that work well together and give you a place of surrounding, a circle of friends, a place where you're going to be pushed, a place where there's a force of accountability, where you will shift the direction of your dreams. And let me tell you this, if you've been working with me for a while, that I am so fierce and so focused on what we all do in 2024 so that we don't lose what we have created. All that experience we've had in our past, we're pushing it forward. For those of you who are truly wanting clarity and a difference and results that align with what you know God intended for you to have, you're in the right place at the right time. So I want to tell you, 𝐲𝐿𝐵 has done an amazing job with his life. You have got to follow him on social media if you have not, because what I love about him is his truth, his authenticity, the fact that he shows us his trials and his mountaintops, his relationships and his vulnerabilities. But also he is letting us in on this tremendous amount of experience that he has had with personal growth, with training big companies, with taking solopreneurs to another place, with his love for people and his desire to make sure their life is better. When you hear his life, you can understand the passion that he has in making his life better and making those around him better. When you go to his accolades and you hear that he's garnished over 200,000 people at one time on a live event, when you talk about the magnitude of the quantum leap that he has made in the knowledge-based industry, when you think about the plans and the systems, the connections and his circle that he's bringing closer to me. I always talk about this so much, that you become like the people you hang around. You become like the people you hang around. So when I was invited into this challenge, this ability, this system, this mindset, I was so excited because so many of you have been touched by Tony Robbins or Graziosi over the past. But now you get a really close look inside. And yeah, Gloria, you've been talking about this and talking about this live and inviting people in. So let me just say this to you. He's got a beautiful wife. They have a beautiful family, and they've been on a beautiful journey. When you listen to him talk, he will move you. So be ready. I hope that you're here with a pen and paper, because it's going to be something that catches you that says, I'm going to be in this. The game. I'm going to be in this. Let me tell you something. I love the fact that the chat is hitting. So if you want to tell us where you're coming from, do so. Why? Because you never know who's right next door to you. You never know whose light you might shine upon. You never know how this one day you'll be sitting in the room with someone and say, you know what? I was on that live too. And I decided to take action. And it made a humongous difference, not just for you. I say this all the time. For you, for your family, and for your community. I love the way he is unapologetic. That's our word. Unapologetic about taking people to a higher level. And so welcoming him into what I call my super bad all day long community. I'm so excited. Dean, welcome to our stage together, because you
Gloria,
are a piece.
What an amazing open, Gloria. And I just want to brag on you a little bit. No wonder you have so many. I mean, we had the chance to talk a couple of years ago and you left a lasting impression. And now I remember why. Amazing. I know why you're following today. You're watching live or you're watching the replay. I know why you follow this amazing woman. And don't we all need, we just all need, I mean, especially with the world is in such a crazy place, Gloria. Just think about, you and I met, we had a little time together. I think so many of us have so many similar ambitions and goals. We want our kids to do better than us. We want to tap into our pure self. We know we're meant for more. We want to gain more. We want a higher purpose. We want to be connected to God or something bigger than ourselves. We have so much in common. Right. And we got a media and a world that I feel is pulling us apart. And sometimes it gets in our mind and uncertainty grows a little bit. And you only need a 10% burst of uncertainty to take your confidence to where you go, maybe this is as good as it gets. Yeah. So maybe today, this is the day we go, no. This is the day I'm saying no. This is the day I'm saying yes. This is the day I'm saying no, not another minute without making a decision. And if we could spark a little bit today, then, I'm the happiest guy in the world to be here with you all.
Dean, first I have to say this, okay? Let me tell you why Dean is so perfect. Dean is so perfect because his mother's name is Gloria.
That's a true story. That is my name, Gloria. That is true.
But I do want to ask you this question because you said something that I think is really important. You said a little bit of uncertainty can shake your confidence. And I believe that what you're bringing to this platform we call Earth is not just for the small. It's not just for the medium people. It's not just for the big things. I think it's a place for everybody and that there's Absolutely. A lot of abundance out here for everybody. But a little bit of uncertainty can snatch us away and make us look to the left or the right. I travel a lot, you travel a lot, and sometimes you'll listen to the weather when you're here and it's not the same as it is over there. You know what they say in our local weather and what they say somewhere else. And It causes a little bit of uncertainty and starts you questioning. And then you get there and you find out everything is fine. Can you talk about the little bit of uncertainty that snatches things away from people?
Well, think about in your life. I think confidence, and if you want to write this down and think about it, we have to protect our confidence. Mm-hmm. We have to protect it because let me just ask you, have you ever made a great decision when your confidence is down? Do you get the sale when the confidence is down? Do you get the relationship when the confidence is down? For those of you who have kids, do you ever talk to your kids when you're not confident about what you're saying? They eat you alive, especially if they're teenagers, right? Like you need a depth of confidence and conviction in what you're saying. So my whole point is in times of uncertainty, when the media, how could you watch the news without feeling insane, right? If your confidence is down just a little bit, we tend to play small without realizing. We tend to say, maybe this is as good as it gets. Mm-hmm. Listen, I believe in God and we all have our own choice, but I believe that God has given us so many gifts. And when we let uncertainty come in, when we see what's wrong rather than what's right, when we see obstacles, not opportunity, when we see what we've lost, not what we can gain, all of a sudden we play a little bit smaller and in our head we go, I'm blessed. Like I'm blessed to be alive. Well, of course you are. You're blessed. 170,000 people die a day. We're not one of them. I'm not saying you're not going through something, but we're here today. Of course you're blessed, but simultaneously you could be blessed and also be disturbed with your own inaction. You could be blessed, but you're not living into who you're supposed to be. I mean, the worst thing, and I know you guys have all heard this before, but the worst thing we could ever have is to get to your end of your life and imagine God playing you on his iPhone, a video of the woman you could have been. Like, imagine God going, Gloria, I'm not trying to be mean, but I gave you all these gifts. I know you went through a lot of crap, but if you would have lived into your full potential, if you wouldn't have listened to that voice, if you stopped caring about whatever people think, if you stopped being afraid to fail, you didn't have imposter syndrome, you were just a little scared. We're all scared. This is who you could have been. Play. Right. And all of a sudden you see this dynamic woman who lived in and set an example for her kids. I think that would drive us all crazy. So I don't have the magic wand for you today, but I can say this. Is borrow confidence from the past. Borrow confidence from Gloria. We believe in you. Borrow it from us. Borrow it from your grandmother or somebody that used to look at you and know you had limitless potential. I still look into my grandmother's eyes. She was my greatest gift in my whole world. My parents split when I was 3. They went in 2 different directions. Grandma took me in. Oh my God, was it the greatest experience. That woman spoke into me every day that I could do anything I wanted. I could be anything I wanted. I lived in a trailer park as a kid. I didn't go to college. I didn't come for money. So when she said that, for some crazy reason, I believed her. And still to this day, when I need courage, she's been gone for 18 years. I still lean into my grandmother, right? So borrow it from someplace. Try to look for up. Listen, when times are crazy, most people are waiting to see what happens. there's more opportunity now than ever. So look for opportunity rather than obstacles. Look for what you do have. What if you just decided today that all the stuff you had to go through in your life, and we all got stuff.
Yeah.
What if that was your grand design? What if you couldn't be the woman you are, the man you are today without all the stuff you went through? What if it built calluses? What if it built strength? What if it builds you finally saying enough is enough? It's time to be the real me.
Right.
Listen, I'm not just trying to be a motivator today.
Right.
I'm trying to just spark something where maybe you've heard this a lot of times, but maybe today's the day you go, I'm going to do something about this. I am meant for more. I'm not going to settle. I'm going to get to my life. You want God to play a video and go, damn, girl, you're crazy. You did all that. Wow. Right? Like,
somebody else what you could do. Absolutely. You know what? You said something that I think is so big. You know, when you talked about the fact that you're not here just to motivate, you're here to bring a message for people to change. And I think we all need to realize when someone brings you some energy, it is valuable. When someone brings you a sight that you may have forgotten that was there, and it's like taking the windshield wipers and going back and forth, and you start to see what you had once seen. When you said, go back and borrow some confidence that you had before, I always tell people, your capacity is far greater than you can imagine it to be. If you know that your capacity is far greater than what you can imagine, you know you can step bigger than your comfort level is right now. And when you step bigger, your confidence grows, and that brings the confidence. But can you talk about the magnitude and the importance of being around energetic people? Because you're not just a motivator, but you are bringing a sense of energy back to a place where people can start to see something different for themselves that maybe they hadn't seen before.
Yeah, such a great question. And now I remember why I so loved having our interview a couple of years ago, Gloria. You're amazing. You know, here's how it started. Probably 5 or 10 years ago, I remember thinking, I'm on this path. A lot of people, you know, especially 20 years ago when I wanted to do my own thing and went into an industry. I mean, think about it. I fixed cars. I was starting to remodel houses, and I had some apartments. I had a tow truck. And all of a sudden I watched Tony Robbins on an infomercial 27 years ago. I buy everything he has. I download it. I listen to it. And that's where things change. I realized life happened for me, not to me. I could have a different story. I could use my past as my fuel, all these cool things, but it also motivated me to go into this industry. So I've been in this industry for 27 years of sharing my experiences. And that shift happened with Tony. I lost my train of thought there for a minute, but you asked me
energy. Yeah, the energy
around people. Yeah. So as I'm like going for it, I seemed really off to the people around me, Gloria. My friends are like, "What's wrong with this guy?" Hey, we didn't come. My sister, who I love dearly, was like, "Hey, we come from a different side. Like, we're a blue collar family. We don't come from money. You're doing amazing with your collision shop. This is what we do."
Oh my God. Oh. Let's talk about that just for 1 second. That where people will cap you when they say, "Oh, you're doing great. You have enough." That's a real pet peeve of mine. That ambitious people will get around other people who will make them feel like their work is more than what they justify. You know.
And you know what, my dear, no, don't be sorry. My dear friend Trent Shelton. I don't know if you know Trent. He's an amazing guy. He's a dear friend. He's one of my dearest friends. And Trent said something one day. He's like, you let those people give you advice, but God gave them a different prescription. And so when you look through your glasses, your future is crystal clear. I see the man I'm going to be. I see the woman I'm going to be. I know it sounds crazy, but this is what I see. But if you put your glasses on someone else that doesn't have your prescription, they're like, that's crazy. It's blurry. Of course it's blurry. And what Trent said that just, he got in my heart the day he said, he goes, because God gave you that prescription. Right. He didn't give it to them. Right. That's your design. So why are you trying to get someone else to believe in you? That's not, they got another path. Yeah. And so I think you asked me about surrounding myself. And what I found is as I got more into the person I was meant to be and started doing it, some people just couldn't stay. Mm-hmm. Like they couldn't handle it, right? They were watching you go, and they would rather hold on to your belt loop and keep you stuck then come with you. And that's okay, because each of us have a different path, but you got to realize that if you stay with them, and hear me on this one, if you dim your glow to align with them, you will never shine as bright as you deserve to be. Right. So sometimes the hard decision is you got to let go And you got to find new groups, new people, new paths. Being here with Gloria, people like this. If you don't have someone in direct proximity, we're all connected, right? We're all over the country, all over the world right now, and we have the opportunity to be connected. And I want to be around people who see the best version of me, that I could see the best version of them. Well, simultaneously, you don't have to dislike those that don't. We can find a way to have empathy for them, that they can't see it. And we just hope that your example pulls them along. And if they don't, then maybe they're on the path they're supposed to be, but you surely can't allow it to stop yours.
Exactly. And when you take another path and you do something different, and, you know, when you think about right now, the conditions in our world right now are causing uncertainty. You choose to do something different. You don't choose to just sit. And when you choose to do something different, remember that sometimes your different makes other people uncomfortable. And if you know that in advance, it will slow you down. Okay, I'm going to make some people uncomfortable because I'm going to go for the path on my prescription that was given for me to do something, because I know in my heart I'm meant for more. I want to be crystal clear with people why I push them so much. And I heard you on your YouTube channel saying something very similar. I push people to increase their income because it makes better choices. It's not for the material things necessarily, but it's the health, the type of food you eat, the service that you can give to your parents and to your children and to your community, the fact that you can give to nonprofits who really do need you to perform at a better place so this world is better for all of us. But there is a reason that you have to shift to go beyond where you're comfortable. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, going beyond where you may not have thought you could go, where you can go.
I love that so much. Sometimes, you know, your next level always lives on the other side of the thing you're a little uncomfortable or you're a little afraid of. We know that in everything. Think about anything in life you were once scared of, and once you did it, it's this feeling, right? And usually that other side of you, that next level of you, lives on the other side of that thing you've been putting off. You know, and having, going live today, the event Tony and I are doing, each of those things is make you realize you are enough. And I want you to hear this. You are enough. You know enough.
Yeah.
You just need someone to give you the path, and then you got to get disturbed with your own inaction. You know, somebody asked me earlier this week, Gloria, on if I could define the ingredients to success. And God, you know this, Gloria, there's a million ingredients, right? You know, sometimes on the way to success, you miss a couple dance recitals. You miss the baseball game. You miss a date with your significant other. Or maybe you're home and your brain is preoccupied thinking about the thing you're working on. That's the stuff that happens in the invisible. You doubt yourself. You question yourself. You look in the mirror and say, is this all there is? Are we going to do this? Are we going to fail? All those things happen when you go to another level.
Right.
But they don't have to happen for a life. They happen for a season. You put a little sacrifice in for a short period of time where you're a little scared, where you're a little distant, where you miss a few things, but then you have the opportunity to create a life where you choose, where you're in control. So I was thinking, like, what are the ingredients for success? Like I said, there's so many. The little things are the big things. But if I was going to narrow it down, I would say this. Number one, you have to be a part of something that's growing, an emerging industry, an emerging business, right? We wouldn't want you to invest in taxi cabs right now when Uber is the new thing, right? Not trying to oversimplify it, but just make sure you're in. Here's the best way to do it. Make sure you're in the right boat, rowing in the right direction. Because sometimes people are rowing real hard, but you're in the wrong boat, rowing the wrong way, right? So number one, investigate. Look for something, the industry, the part, Tony and I love the self-education industry, selling your knowledge. And we'll talk about that later. But find something that aligns with you that's growing. That's number one. Number two, this is the most important. Hear me on this one. When you want to do something new, your brain goes, well, how are we going to do that? How? How does that work? How do you sell what you know? If we're talking about what I'm looking through, how do I build a podcast? How do I build a community? How do I build a course? How do I become a coach? How is the worst word you can ask yourself? You got to ask who has already done what I want to do, and how do I model them? So number one, an industry that's growing. Number two, ready? Model proven practices. Simple as that. Model proven practices. Find somebody who's doing what you want to do. They're doing it at the top level. Mentor with them, get in their program, get in their mentorship, get in their course. That's number two.
Yeah.
Number three, you got to find a deeper purpose, deeper than anybody else's. You got to find something so deep that it makes you cry when you think about it. I'm just being honest, because you're going to get rejected. Things are going to go wrong. People are going to say no. You're going to feel insecure. A friend's going to say, you're doing what?
Yeah.
You?
Yeah.
Nah, it's not you. You're an introvert. Like, you're going to have that.
Yeah.
So you need something bigger, so much stronger that, Gloria, tell me somebody special in your life. Who's special in your life?
My husband, Ken.
What, Ken? K-E-N?
K-E-N. Ken. Special in my life.
So when we talk about purpose, right? If I said, and where do you live, Gloria?
Maryland.
You live in Maryland. Okay.
Yes.
So if I said, hey, Gloria, Ken is in Delaware. His car ran out of gas.
Right.
But the only way you can help him is you got to run all the way to Delaware. You can't use a car to help him. You'd say, Ken is a resourceful guy. He'll find some gas. I'm not running to Delaware. But if I said, Gloria, and I'm not trying to be morbid here, Gloria, Ken's in a little bit of an accident.
Yeah.
And he needs your kidney to live. And the only way to get there is you got to leave the house without a car. You would run yourself to Delaware. You wouldn't stop till you got there.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be morbid. It's just
everything. Purpose is deeper.
Right. One is like, he could figure it out.
Yeah.
One is, I'm saving this man I love's life. I'm running. I will be resourceful. I will do whatever it takes to get it done.
Right.
You need that depth of caring and purpose in taking your life to another level, because there's going to be things in your way. If you say, I just want to make more money, it's not enough. I want more free time. It's not enough. Right. For me, I watched my mom work 3 jobs to make nothing when I was a kid. And I was like, I need to make money because I don't want my mom coming home at 10 o'clock at night tired. Right. That was a purpose. I didn't know how I was going to get there, Gloria, but I was. But then I retired my mom when I was in my early 20s. So I needed another bigger purpose and another bigger purpose. Right now, if somebody asked me, what's your purpose? I love being a dad of 4. This morning, I took my son to school. I take my kids to school. I make their lunches. I attend their practices, soccer, swimming, tennis. I don't miss anything. I love being with my wife. I love her more than anything on the planet. And I love empowering others and being with my team.
Right.
For me to wake up and be in control of my calendar and be able to go to practice, take my kids to school, it is so strong for me. I would die before I'd let someone say, hey, Dean, I know your son's got that tennis match today, but we got this project. You can't go.
Right.
It'd be like someone took my heart out of my soul. I will fight. I will die. I will claw through bricks. I will crawl across broken glass to have the freedom of choice to do what I want when I want to do it. Now, that might not be a big deal at this phase of your life, but for me, it's as powerful as trying to retire my mom. It's as powerful as not wanting to be broke anymore. And
what you're saying is that those things change over time. Everybody needs to find it. And if what you were passionate about 2 years ago is no longer your strength of passion, it's okay.
You got to find a new one.
And find the new one. And it's really critical that you find that passion. It's really critical that you find that place that will push you past all the noise that's coming at you, that stops you from doing what you know you're capable of doing.
Completely. Oh.
Yep, we got you.
Oh, still there? Okay. Yeah, something popped up. It's all right.
Yeah.
Could you guys come and look at this? So if you look, number one is you want to be in an industry that's growing, right? Number 2, I got it. Thank you. Number 2, who, not how. Model proven practices. Find somebody who's already done what you want to do. Investigate them, study them, see what they're doing. You don't have to jump in with both feet until you understand the path. Right. Number 3, find a big enough purpose. When stuff goes sideways, you go, no, this is bigger. I want control of my time. I want to be with my kids. I want to work from home. I want to retire my husband because I hate the job that he's in. It's slowly killing him. I don't know what your why is, but find that why. And then the last one I love the most is, I got this from Og Mandino, the book, The World's Greatest Salesman. Yeah. And he wrote about these scrolls, and it was scroll number 2. And it says, I will persist until I succeed. And I think that word persist is the only word in the dictionary, in the English language, that can guarantee your success. If you're in the right industry, if you're modeling proven practices, and you have a purpose so strong that you won't quit until you succeed, that what I believe, not to oversimplify success, those 4 things. And if you were missing any of them, it might be the reason why you didn't hit your level of success that you crave or you deserve. Mm-hmm. And you could just relook at it and go, my passion wasn't there. Oh, I was in the wrong vehicle. I was working hard, but I was in the wrong boat, rowing in the wrong direction, right? I was working with a network marketing company that really didn't care. Now I am, or whatever piece you have in your life. You got to make sure you're in the right boat. You're learning from somebody who's already done it. You are extremely passionate and you are not giving up. What he said in the book, I thought was cool, Gloria. I think you'll like this. He said, I don't know how we evolved to where people think that the prize is at the beginning of the journey. It's at the end of the journey. Right. And he said, and along that journey, you got to go around corners. He was talking about corners like failures. Like you got to go around corner. And when you get across that failure, you get around the corner, it might not be there. Right. You also don't know how many corners you have to go around, meaning how many times it goes wrong. Some of you, Gloria, you and I both know people that maybe a couple things went wrong and then they skyrocketed. Right. And other people, it took them 5 years and then they skyrocketed. Persist until you succeed. So I hope I didn't oversimplify it, but I really believe those are the ingredients for success.
You know, one of the things that I want you to go into is the program, of course, but I want to hit this right off the bat, which is people that are supposed to learn from you or be in your space, you probably don't know them. And Absolutely. You've got to be willing and able to imagine that the people you will touch with your experience and wisdom are not the people that you know. Are not the people that are currently
1,000%. And here's another one that I'm going to quote Trenton again because he's just so masterful at words. He said, the other thing he said was, and those people are not going to hear the message from anybody else but you. Right. He said, you're obligated to take your life experience and share it because there's somebody waiting and they can only hear it from you. No one else. They might hear Dean say it, Tony say it, Gloria say it like that. And all of a sudden you say it. And it's like, wow. Right? Wow.
That's a huge one. That's such a, because that goes back to me, the prescription that God gave you. He gave you prescription for the other people on the other side to hear it from you. And they can't hear it from other people. They can only hear it from you. And he gave it to you for that reason. So that's a really powerful thing. And I just think that when you think about those 4 things that you talked about in terms of growth, leads you to a program that you guys are doing. And I love that. I love the fact that you guys are bringing something that will touch everybody at every level. I know some people who can totally benefit from what you guys are talking about, who have never touched the space of sharing what's in their mind.
Yeah.
And then I have some people that I have here that I know for a fact are experts at what they've done, but they haven't broadened the circle so that more people can hear from them what they're capable of delivering to them.
Yeah, so here's what I'd say about this event, and I'm so stoked because I'm living it every day. Tony and I were on the phone till late last night. Tony Robbins, my partner, we were so stoked. We do it once a year, but this is unlike anything we've ever done, and we're calling it The Game Has Changed because the game truly has changed. Yeah. We are in a time where you can find something that gives you purpose, that lights you up every day, that gives you passion, where you impact others while simultaneously creating something on your own that you don't have to rely on anybody else that has no glass ceiling. That's a fact. Not a magical money machine. I'm not talking about getting rich for doing nothing. We know none of that exists. We know no one that's done that, right? I'm talking about a real possibility to have work-life integration where you don't know where work ends and life begins and you don't care because you love them both. That's real. That game has changed. But the game has changed even more, and we can't wait to share that with you on June 13th, is because technology and what Tony and I are working on, and we're going to reveal it, has allowed you to do what used to take months, and you can do it not in hours, in minutes. You can use tools that think like Tony and I, that allow you to go faster. It's unbelievable on what's possible. And who should come? Those of you that are investigating something new. You're in an unfulfilled career, or your business it's just not lighting up your soul, and you're looking for what's next. Come. It's 3 days, about 3 hours a day, and I promise you it'll transform your life. And you could see what's possible inside this industry. The second group that comes is those of you that are the part-timers. I'm kind of an entrepreneur, kind of not, kind of doing my own thing. I don't know, like you feel like you're a flip-flopper. You might only been flip-flopping because you didn't have all those pieces I talked about. You didn't have the map. You didn't have a guidance. You didn't have the right tools. You were missing some of it, and all of a sudden you realize you thought it was you. No, you just didn't have all the right tools. If you're the best mechanic in the world and something goes wrong with the car and you know you got to change a spark plug, If I said, great, your best mechanic got to change a spark plug, change it, but you don't have any tools. You can't. It doesn't matter how good you are, how much desire you have, how much you know about the car, you need spark plug wrench, right? It's the same thing. You might have been missing the tool. Right. And lastly, if you're in business and you know what we're talking about and you know it's time for another level, who better than two guys that have been doing it for 74 years and we're still doing the biggest events in the world. So that should cover, all of you should be there. And what are you going to learn? You're going to learn that your life experience, a skill you have, a passion that you have, may be the greatest asset you own. You just need to know how to package it, turn it into a course, a product, a podcast, a membership, a monthly community, Zoom trainings, a coach. When you learn how to take a life experience and turn it into a product, how to identify the person that wants it, how to get them to say yes through service, not through cheesy sales, how to deliver it with confidence, you create your escape plan. You level the playing field. You create an industry that's at $1 billion a day, that's growing to $1 trillion a year. You create this asset to enter. And, you know, that might sound crazy to new people. So there's two things I want to say. Okay. One, when people first thing they think is, I don't know if my experience is valuable. So I got a question for you. You can put this in the chat. You can just write it on a piece of paper. If I said, I could cut you a check right now for $100,000, or you can go back and spend 1 week with your 20-year-old self, which one would you take? Think about going back and saying, oh my God, you can do your own thing. You are qualified. You don't need anybody else's permission. Or maybe, hey, wait till real love comes in your life. Don't jump at the wrong decision, right? Right? Or take care of yourself sooner. Don't wait to 40 to start getting in shape. Let's get on the treadmill at 20.
Cut the sugar now. Cut the sugar now.
Yeah. So when you think of the $100,000, I usually say $1 million, and even at $1 million people, 99% say I'd go back and spend a week with my 20-year-old self. Why? Because your wisdom is that valuable. Your life experience is that valuable, and someone else is starting off where you once were. You went through the divorce and your kids are fine, family's good. You could teach others how to do it because they're on day one of the divorce. You know how to sell. You know how to do network marketing. You know how to care better. You know how to find purpose. You know how to do yoga, go vegan. Whatever it is, you know, someone else is starting on day one and you can help them get there faster. And that's why this industry is growing, because people know the smartest way to get from where you are to where you want to be is to cut a check for speed. Find the who's already done it and find a way to collapse time. Right? So that's why this industry is growing. That's why I believe everybody should investigate this. And Tony and I believe everybody should be in this because everybody's got a gift. In fact, the way we look at it is if you die with your experience and knowledge in your head, you're actually doing a disservice to the world. So I hope that explained it, Gloria, because I'm really excited about it and I might go too quick.
Yeah, no. This is what I want to make sure I reiterate, that everybody has something to gain with the knowledge and the wisdom in their mind. It doesn't matter what you think is important, because when you're around other people who have a model of success, they are going to pull out of you what you thought wasn't good enough. And they point out to you that you are more than enough and you can go forward. It's super important that people understand what you're talking about is when you're in that environment with people who've done it before and the stories of people who did it before, and the fact that you guys are creating this event so that people can do it how it best fits them. Absolutely. You're not saying to them, I want you to deliver it like this. You're saying, here are so many choices that you can choose from. And the choice you start with today might change as your confidence grows, as your experience grows, and as the systems provide you different ways to see it work. But the bottom line is you have to know that you have experiences that other people know. And you might not know what that is right now. That's not the deal. The deal is who is ready to give more, gain more, provide more, and do more so that the world is a better place. And if he said that this is an invitation and everybody should be in here, you know, they have their numbers that they're going for. You know, I have numbers that I'm going for. I want to make sure that I have a certain number of people that are in that space of the game has changed. Not, we think the game is going to change, or maybe. This is stating the game has changed. It's stating something that you already know. So the question is, what are you willing to do about the game so that you are on top of the field? Not
You know,
stuck there saying, I thought it was going
so
to happen,
good.
but you're digging your way out. You're already on top of it. Yes, go ahead.
No. It's so good. You just fired me up. It's hard to be quiet when you got me fired up, because here's two things. Sometimes in life, other people have the unfair advantage. That's just a fact.
Yeah,
We all, and there's unfair advantages that I might have that I don't see. And you never see when you have an unfair advantage unless you really pay attention. And the fact of the matter is, Tony and I together have been in this industry for 74 years. We've been able to touch combined between the two of us. We've been able to touch the lives of millions of people, and we know what works and we know what doesn't. And we are still the biggest in this industry. Not saying it to be like, look at us, but no, this will be our 11th event in a row, averaging 1 million people each. 11 in a row, right? So we do see, now that we're at this level, we do see the unfair advantage. We do see what the winners have, and that's what we're going to give you access to. Like, no more games. It's time for you to, and I don't mean this in a negative way. Please hear me. No more excuses. Might sound like a hard word, but sometimes we don't have the tool. We don't have the right map. We don't have someone that really cares. Right. We want to level the playing field and give you the unfair advantage. And people say all the time, well, why would you and Tony do it? Why do you do this? You guys don't need to work anymore. You've been doing it forever. You got families. You could just take off. Why? Let me ask you, Gloria, when you go to a great restaurant and the food is just a 10, if you went without your husband, what would you do when you come home? Babe, oh my God, this was amazing. Next week, our date night, right or wrong?
Right. Absolutely. Tell everybody. Absolutely.
Right. You tell everybody. When you see a movie you love, movies have been horrible lately, but this one, oh my God, right? And why? Because you want people to experience it. True?
Right. Absolutely.
Tony and I have to experience it. Tony and I, through taking our life experience and sharing it, we found a life that lights up our soul, that we love what we do every day. I get out of bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. I freaking love it. It brings that energy home to my wife and kids. And I know what it's like to feel like, is this all life is? Am I ever going to have a chance? Am I stuck? Am I going to miss it? I know that feeling, but I also know the other side. When you get past that, when you have a path, when you get your first sale, next sale, consistent sales, freedom, control, we know that. So it's like, we went to this great movie. And now we're like, hey, everybody, I want to shake you. This is the path we found. And it's why we get excited about it, is because there truly is a way to live into your full potential, to love what you do and have no glass ceiling. Not rich overnight. I'm talking about a real path and plan. So we love it so much. It's why we do these big events. It's why I love being on here with you. I hope I inspire you guys. And I hope you see that this is truly an opportunity to see a new way. And I'd love to give you a URL, and I'm sure you're going to share it with everybody.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Write this down if you could. DeanandTonyLive.com/Gloria. DeanandTonyLive.com/Gloria. Use that link because you have free access. This event is free, not kind of free, but what I would do is I would trick yourself and pretend you paid $1,000 for it, because then you'll show up with pen in hand in your journal, right?
Yes.
And one more. Go ahead.
I want to say this. I want you guys to take a sheet of paper. Listen to me carefully. Take a sheet of paper and write $1,000 on it and put it on the walls around in different places, in your bedroom, in your kitchen. Just put that there. That's going to make you remember. And he's absolutely right. If you think you've paid for it, you will pay attention. So the fact that it's free is important. But if you think you've paid for it, you think you pay attention. And that'll be signs around. And it's an easy thing to do. And sometimes, Dean, you're right. The simplest, easiest things make the biggest difference in the world.
It's so true. And the last thing I'll say, don't do it alone. Yes. Don't do it alone. Take DeanandTonyLive.com/Gloria. Go register. Do it right now. Put it in your phone. It's going to be 2.5 hours a day for 3 days to change your life. It's worth it. Yeah. Then I would take that link and I would start a text string with 1, 3, 5 friends of yours and say, let's do this together. You know know somebody who needs this as well, that needs it maybe more than you because they're not here with Gloria, and they need an accountability partner. Do it with someone else. It'll make it fun. When you get done with the 2.5 hours, hit them up and go, hey, what did you learn? What was your biggest takeaway? Did you know that belief? It'll make it fun. So do that. Put it in your calendar. It's going to be something you'll remember forever. I promise.
I want to add this. I want to tell you guys that since I've been watching and thinking, so many people that I didn't think would need this have said to me, Gloria, thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling me. I've been thinking about it. I've been wanting, you know how many people are on the edge. They don't tell you. So you have to be brilliant enough to invite people and let them decide for themselves if this is what they want to come to a free event with Tony and Dee. Can you even imagine 74 years of expertise in several areas, but definitely in the personal growth, which we all know that if you grow inside, you can grow outside. Absolutely. But every single body does not raise their hand and say, invite me, invite me. No, they have to get the invitation first. It takes courage on your part. But if you let people know, I've been thinking about you and I know you have a wisdom and an expertise. Experience is the best expertise that you can have, that you can share with someone else. So truly invite people to that link. Absolutely.
Gloria, you're so awesome. I could talk to you all day. This is fantastic. And if you're following this amazing woman, I know why. Sometimes we just need that light. Sometimes we just need a little guidance. Sometimes when we get stuck and drifting, drifting just means you're not really attached to one thing. You know where you are isn't right, but you're not sure where to go when we kind of drift in the middle. And sometimes a drift can take a year and you can take 10 years of your life drifting. So maybe today's the day you anchor your feet in. And if it's not this, that's okay. But I promise we'll inspire you. So come for 3 days. And if you go, no, I love what you guys shared, it's not for me, then go find you. The greatest gift we could say is, and I know Gloria feels the same way, is go be you. The woman or man you're meant to be, not the one you're settling to be, but it's not going to hit you over the head. It's not going to come find you. There's this book I read to my son every night. It's called Chance. It's an amazing book. I need to share it more. I never talked, but I read him the same book every day. And the whole concept is, it's a dad who wrote the book for his son. Okay. And it just said, when I was little, I saw a chance and I took it because I didn't know anything different. And it was around me. It was surrounding me. It seemed like it wanted to be my friend, but it didn't work out. And then I went after the second chance and I messed up and people laughed at me. So I decided I'm never taking a chance ever again. And they kept coming and I kept pushing them away until finally the chances stopped coming. And then I realized I wanted my chance. The way he made it a noun, right? I wanted my chance. I wanted an opportunity. And I decided maybe I only needed a moment of courage. And if a chance comes around again, I'm not going to miss it. And then all of a sudden you saw this little boy drawing. He's waiting for his chance and they do it like as a bright light, like almost like a kite. He goes, I saw my chance. I said, no more. I'm going to be courageous just for a minute. And I took my chance. And it was at the end of the book, I had goosebumps on my face. At the end of the book's like, and you never know when you take a chance that you truly can change the world. And it was just such a beautiful little book. And I just want to tell you, take a chance. The cool part is we created a chance. It doesn't cost money. It costs a little bit of your time. We don't take that lightly, but come investigate. See what's possible. I promise, you'll be glad you took that chance.
In June 13th through 15th, I'm telling you, it's just going to be, the game has changed. I mean, the game has changed. And can I tell you, that book that you just unfolded was really powerful. And you need to say it a lot. And you guys, that's an example of the shift that can happen quickly when you're going to be in this room with us. And I want to be there with you. I want to be there shoulder to shoulder with you as we go forward, because I believe that if you create that circle that you move with, it moves at such a pace and a velocity that you are going to say to yourself, whoo, this feels so good. It's exciting, it's exhilarating, and it's scary. It doesn't matter. I like those kind of feelings because it gives me energy, gives me a reason to get up and go out and do something incredibly different. Dean, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Gloria.
Thank you for your brilliance. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what you're bringing to us. And how
I feel that. I want you to know I truly feel that, Gloria. Yeah, I'm glad we had a second chance together, and I hope we get the opportunity to meet in person because I love your energy, I love your smile, I'd love to do more stuff with you. So thank you, everybody. I know your time is precious. If you've been with us the whole time or watching this whole time, I know I don't take that lightly. I hope we served. I hope we delivered you an opportunity, and I hope I get to see all of you on June 13th. Thank you so much.
Yes, hit that link, you guys. We're going to watch for you. Hit that link. Thanks, Dean. Appreciate you so much.